Good evening everyone and welcome to the Invictus Racing League, the Performance League. It's good to be back here on the live streams here for the pre-season races here. I'm your host with the most, Malc. Tonight with me, as always, is the American, always, is Tim. How you doing, mate? You alright? Tim's just having some technical difficulties. Hopefully he'll join us in a minute or two. We will kick off the race shortly. Sorry about this, guys. We're just waiting for some of the starters. We're just waiting for... I will invite him in again. Looks like we're about to kick off in a moment or two. Oh, God. So, good evening to everyone that's joined the session. We will start off at the French Grand Prix. So we're just waiting for some of the guys to start up. We're just waiting for Tim to join in. I don't know if he's got some technical difficulties, but hopefully he will come in as soon as possible. So hopefully we're about to kick off in a moment or two. So the majority of the drivers are all set, ready to go. So just about to kick off now. I'm not sure what's happened with Tim, so we will try and get back in as quickly as possible. But for now, we will kick off with the French Grand Prix. So the guys are all going to be all set and ready to go. So we're about to start it up now at the French Grand Prix. Okay, so we'll kick off with the we kick off with the French Grand Prix with the qualifying. I believe there's still some technical issues with, just if you bear with me a sec, guys, we will kick off with the qualifying. Hopefully we'll see a few drivers coming in to do their laps at the moment. So like I said, we're at the French Grand Prix. We're just waiting for Tim to join in again. So 17 minutes left of the qualifying and the drivers are all set on there. So with the pre-season races for the Performance League, We will have there will be equal cars, so that the admins can double check and make sure that these guys are on the correct cars at the correct times. So, because we don't want to give someone a fast driver with a fast car during the season, because that will make it even more awkward than ever before. But on here we've got Biofreak on the Ferrari car. So I'm just waiting for Tim to join in. Tim, can you hear me? Nope. We're still got some.
I believe the technical difficulties are now solved. I hear you now.
Ah, good. Hey, how you doing, Tim? You alright?
How you doing, Malc? I am excited. It's the first race of the season. Well, I mean, not the first points race, but the first physical race.
Yes, absolutely. I'll just give a bit of a recap about the Performance League pre-season races. I'm not sure if you've been with us in the pre-season part, but normally with the pre-season races, it's the equal cars so to start with, so the admins can get themselves set up to get the perfect right driver for the right cars at all tracks. So that's how it all set up for the pre-season races for the Performance League anyway. But at the moment I'm just watching Biofreak doing his qualifying lap, and I will sorry Tim, what was you going to say?
It looks like he's joining into quite a bit of traffic there as the Mercedes of what appears to be Mr. Sky Z is pulled out on the track, as well as the Racing Point machine of TL44S.
Yeah, so the French Grand Prix with this, it's a bit awkward with the pit exit, so they've got to be careful with the cars coming out, as well as trying to get past the pit exit while you're on the main straight as well. But looking at this now, I love the track. So just see how it goes at this point here. But just watching Biofreak coming through to the second sector part here. With the French Grand Prix, Tim, what do you think of it so far?
Well, I mean, you said you love the track, and I love the track too. Not only is it really fun to drive around, but just the entire layout of the track and just the look of it. It's so aesthetically pleasing that it's just a fun race to watch, just purely for aesthetics.
Yeah, absolutely. Bear in mind though, this track can give you like some penalties galore from what I've experienced a few times at the French Grand Prix. With this, I'm just going to watch Biofreak coming through to the final corner now to see what the time he can get. He's on the hard tyres at the moment here, and the time to beat is he's just invalidated his lap. So, is anyone going to try and be a validated lap here? So
Luke Bailey, a 133.748. That's the time to beat so far from the Red Bull.
A Ferocious Stand did a 132.744. Ozone has done a 133.2 on the hards as well.
Nitro Dash has a 134.329 now. Biofreaks, as you said, where his lap was invalidated, he's going to have to try it again. But so far, only O'Steven and Sir Spud are in the pits at the moment. I'm watching Sab right now, seeing what he's going to do in the McLaren. Who are you watching now?
Just watching what you're saying, watching Sab coming through to the final few corners here. Through the S's part here. He looked like he was slowing down a little bit, but I don't know if he's still validating his lap. I'm just seeing what it is. Sheepy's got the fastest lap.
Looking at the race director, Sab does have an invalidated lap.
Oh, he does? Okay. So, thank you for that, Tim. So Sab will do his proper lap in now. Can TL44S try and improve his time onto here? He's coming up through to, which I believe is the second, just
Sheepy has now set the fastest time, a 132.633 for Sheepy in the Red Bull.
Yeah, that's still a great time there from Sheepy there. Biofreak's moved up to third with a 132.9, and the champion, the three-time world champion, Mr. Sky C, has done a 131.7 on the hard tyres. That's still a cracker of a time there. Tim.
Most definitely a 131, as you said, on hard tires. Mr. Sky Z, like you said, he is the last season's champion. And already, you know, going into the season, even though we're just preseason right now, I feel that he is going to be the favorite for not only quite a few wins, but definitely the Drivers' Championship for sure. He is going to be one of my early favorites in the field that I'm seeing so far, just because of how strong he was last season.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely stuff. But it could be hard for him to get, if he could get a 4th world title in a row, that would be amazing for Mr. Sky, whatever happens here tonight. But with Sab coming up to the final few corners now, I believe turn 14 and then turn 15, which is just at the start of the pits at that one. So the DRS straight now, he needs to do everything possible here. Majority of the drivers have gone for the hard tyres, which would be the better tyre wear. Sab's got another invalidated lap, so he's going to have to do it again here. I'm just trying to see who you're watching so far, Tim.
Well, I went ahead and took a look at the race director, and actually Mr. Sky Z now has a invalidated lap for corner cutting, but I'm still watching him in the Mercedes. Obviously, he's on the pole for the moment, so that invalidated lap probably isn't going to hurt him too much, at least not at the moment, because he seems to have some decent pace here, but do not look for this one to be a timed lap. Meanwhile, I'm going to go ahead and check out Sab and see what's going on with him. I don't know if he's going to have another invalidated lap or not, but looking at the race director right now, it does look like he has exceeded the track limits, and he will have another invalidated lap, as you were saying earlier.
Right, okay, no worries there. So Spud and Sab are the only, and are the only ones left who have not done a lap whatsoever. But this is an absolutely immense stuff here with the 10 minutes left of the qualifying here, Tim. Is there any drivers there that you think would do well this season that you've noticed?
Probably Steven. I mean, I know that he's only now starting his outlap, but I'm trying to think back on the last season, and he was showing a lot of pace last season, especially there toward the end. So I'm going to look for him to maybe make a run at the championship this year as well and challenge Mr. Sky Z up there.
Yeah, absolutely stuff. But he could pull a rabbit out of the hat here. He might do well here again, Steven, but second season syndromes, sometimes it always works out, sometimes it doesn't, but it depends if Steven can try and get off the mark at the start of the races here. And Sir Spud's done a 133.7 from Sir Spud here. We're coming to 9 minutes 10 left of the qualifying here, Tim. Looking at this performance here, I'm trying to see who else has gone out there, so just watching Luke Bailey now coming up to the final few corners now. Oh, he's going back into the pits. It's just a tease. He's absolutely immense stuff there. Absolutely teasing.
I was waiting on it, Malc. I was waiting on it. It's been a while since I've heard that.
Oh, don't worry. It's just brought it back here onto the streams now. So TL4 for us coming up to the start-finishing line straight now. I don't think he's improved his style. I think he might have be his next lap, I believe. So Sab needs to get a time because he's had a few invalidated laps here. Steven needs to do a lap in as well. So they're the only two drivers left without a qualifying lap. But with the hard tyres, it should be beneficial for the drivers here to do well here. Just seeing what they're going to do here so far in this race here. With the tyre strategies here, now the hard tyres is the best option to start off with because the tyre wear can be really bad. Just see what was going to happen here next. But just seeing Sab still not done a lap in again, so hopefully he'll try and get back into it. But who are you watching so far, Tim?
Right now I'm still watching Steven as he is actually finishing his flying lap, I do believe. He's now crossing the DRS line, about to cross the start-finish line, and he is only going to wind up in 9th this time. He's on the medium tires, a 133.528 for Steven in the Mercedes.
That, compared to the times that was happening, I don't think that's the quickest time on the medium tyres because obviously Mr. Scorsese did a 131.7 on the hards. I expect about 1 second, half a second to a second, so probably about 130s if you're hitting the mediums. So with Steven, he must have made a massive mistake at some point in the race here. Or, I tell you what,
he just went wide out of 3 as you were saying that, actually. So maybe his car is suffering from a little bit of understeer.
Yeah, absolutely. But with the situations here at this moment in time, do you, if you was doing the Performance League, would you reckon that some of the drivers are not putting the times in at that point? Do you think that's what's going to happen, or do you think they are pulling the weight in at the French Grand Prix?
I think at the moment, the drivers are not running as fast as they possibly could. However, we're going to see, maybe in the next 3 or 4 minutes, we're going to see a few drivers go out there and maybe even beat Mr. Sky Z's time, or Mr. Sky Z go out himself and beat his own time. So I really just think that right now it's the nature of the qualifying session, and that even though it's ending, it's still technically early.
Yeah, absolutely. But it's early days. I'm not saying that all the drivers will do it, but I'd like to see the drivers really put their effort into it on the tyre wears as well. But some of the drivers are already hitting the medium tyres now. So Steven started off with the mediums, and now Biofreak has started off with the mediums with a 131.9. Good evening to everyone that's joined the session. We will have a look at the comments during the interval break. So good evening to everyone that's joined the session. So we will have a look at the comments later on, and we won't mention about the standings because obviously this is pre-season, so hopefully the admins will find out what drivers will need to be set up on. Anyway, but look, watching Biofreak now, want to try and get back into the pits as quickly as possible. But we've got yellow flag sectors 2 and 3 at the minute. So who are you watching so far again, Tim?
Right now I'm watching Ozone Typhoon in the 3rd position in that Williams. He's got a 131.9 right now on the medium tires, and he is currently running just out of turn 3, going down that very long straightaway now.
Ooh.
And he's going to try to set a time here.
Yeah, sorry about that, Tim. We've just had yellow flags on sector 3, which could be Mr. Sky C. I'm just trying to see if there's any yellow flags near where Biofreak is, but he's going back into the pits, I believe. Same with Spud there as well. Just watching Ozone at the moment here. Can he try and improve his time, or do you think there'll be some shocks along the way, Tim?
Well, I do believe Ozone is probably going to improve his time. It looks like he's got some decent pace right now, but of course there's no way to tell until he crosses the line. There is a yellow flag in Sector 2 yet again. I do not see anything that's going on, but nonetheless it is there. Biofreak, as you said, has pulled into the pits, but Ferocious Dan and the McLaren is just now on his outlap and pulling out of the pits.
Yeah, absolutely stuff. But with Ozone doing well on the mediums, same with Biofreak, with what proposing to Mrs. Sky Z. Should be interesting stuff to see if they are going to go for it. But Sab's retired from the session. Same with Ozone, because I saw Ozone just going to the pits now, so he did retire in the pits. So just watching Luke Bailey now. Try your favourite driver, your biggest fan, Tim, of all from last season. Do you think Luke Bailey will be in the top 3?
Well, we're going to have to find out. Right now, running only the 8th position with a 133, it's not looking very promising for Luke Bailey. And that is unfortunate. However, he's going to cross the line now, and he does improve just a little bit, a 132.781 for Luke Bailey in the Red Bull. But judging by his pace in qualifying here today, I do not think a podium is going to be a very realistic option for him. A top 5, I'd say, is definitely a possibility, but a podium is a long shot. At least judging by his current pace.
Yeah, absolutely stuff there. But you never know. Luke Bailey could prove the doubters wrong here, because he did get a good start a few times in all the leagues that he has been in, like the F3 and also the Performance League. But he had a bit of an average season in the middle of it. So hopefully he'll try and get rid of that and try and bounce back into the top 4 at least this season. So just see what happens here at this moment in time. But so we've got 2 minutes 25 left on the qualifying. Who do you think is going to happen? Do you think anyone can try and beat Mr. Sky C's time for 131.7 on the hard tyres? Or what we see is what we're going to get at this moment in time. We've got Luke Bailey still doing his lap in. Sorry, Tim, was you about to say something?
Nah, Malc, just with 2 minutes remaining, I don't believe that we're going to see a lot of jostling around for position here in the qualifying. Currently watching Sheepy as he is now completing his outlap, about to start his flying lap, so maybe he has something from Mr. Sky Z. BioFreaks in second, but he's in the pit, so not really looking for him to come back out. But Ferocious Dan is also on his outlap, so he might have something for Mr. Sky Z as well. But really, I think it's going to be between Ferocious Dan and Sheepy at the moment as far as who is going to end. Ferocious Dan actually went up to the top of the board, a 131.658. On my screen, it was saying that he was only on his outlap and not his flying lap. Apparently, he was, in fact, on his flying lap, and he is now set the provisional pole time.
That's still a cracker over time there from Ferocious Dan there. So hopefully he will try and hold on now to first place here. But still at the moment here, with 1 minute 15 left of the qualifying here. This is going to be absolutely madness stuff here with the lastminute.com with the qualifying at the French Grand Prix for the qualifying for the pre-season races here. Like I said, Delange has just arrived a little bit late to his car, so hopefully he will bounce back into the car into the start of the race here tonight. And also, we've got a couple of drivers still out there at the moment here. I'm just going to watch Stephen. Who are you watching, Tim?
Watching Ferocious Dan still. It looks like he is putting down a lot of pace right now. He might actually be able to try to go for another flying lap here. Going down, Sheepy is now also about to complete his lap. He's going down the front straightaway right now in that Red Bull. He will cross the line right now. Third place for Sheepy, a 131.912 in the final 30 seconds.
Oh, here we go. Can Stephen try and improve his time here on, which I believe is the soft tyres. He's on the soft tyres on this track here. Now, I would avoid the softs as much as possible here, but if he wants to try and get into at least the top 4, at least, he needs to do something with the times here. So qualifying is now stopped. Qualifying has stopped now. They have stopped on the French Grand Prix here. Can we see anyone's shocks along the way here? Stephen moves up to 7th. He moves up to 7th there, Tim. Updates so far.
Well, Stephen moving up into 7th, and TL44S is behind him. He is in the 8th position right now on the board, and he is rounding around Sector 3 right now, so he will see him complete his lap here soon. He's going to try to improve on that 132.804 that he has at the moment. Ferocious Dan still up front, a 131.658. So everybody that has still got to complete a lap is chasing that. Sab, of course, he is retired from the session, so he will not be sitting a lap. He's down there in 11th. Otherwise, every driver has. TL44S crossing the line now, and he moves up to 3rd. TL44S, a 131.791 for the Racing Point machine of TL44.
Yeah, brilliant stuff there from TL44S. He really is on fire. Oh, Sheepy's gone a little bit wide there. Hopefully, I don't know if that will compromise his lap. But he's still got pumping. He's still going. He's still going with that lap there. Absolutely madness. Madness stuff here. But can Sheepy try and improve his time here with a 131.9? Can he try and get 3/10 out of Ferocious Dan's time? Oh, he's teasing us. He's absolutely teasing us. Where's Luke Bailey? Is Luke Bailey good? Oh, he's teasing us as well. They're teasing us, Tim. That's unacceptable behaviour there. Madness. Absolutely madness. Well done to Ferocious Dan, who's just got pole position at the French Grand Prix with Mr. Skyzy in 2nd place and TL44S in 3rd place. So, Tim, what's your thoughts of the race? Going to be the race tonight there?
Well, it definitely looks like Ferocious Dan has a good car and is going to challenge Mr. Sky Z. And TL44S was actually a shock to me to get up to 3rd right there on the podium. BioFreaks, who looked really fast early on, has dropped all the way down to 5th, with Ozone being up to 6th and Steven only getting to the 8th position. And that is also another shock to me, because I really expected him to have a better qualifying run than that.
Yeah, hopefully that will be immense stuff here with the French Grand Prix here. But I can't wait. I can't wait for the brand new season. It's a brand new season. Brand new season of Invictus, the Realistic Performance League as well. But like I said, this would have been the China Grand Prix, but we've decided, the admins have decided to do the French Grand Prix to make it more interesting. So, the short qualifying classification for the French Grand Prix for the Invictus Realistic Performance League. So, Ferocious Dan is in first place. You've got Mr. Skycy in second. TL44S in third place. Sheepy in fourth. Biofreakasse in fifth. Ozone Typhoon in sixth. Luke Bailey is in seventh. O'Stephen is in eighth. Sir Spud is in ninth. Nigel Gash is in 10th. Sab is in 11th place. Oh, I can't wait. I can't wait. I cannot wait to start the French Grand Prix. It's just going to be absolutely madness stuff. We've just had some confirmation from Mr. Skycy's car. He did crash at Sector 3. So that was why he had to retire really early. Oh, I say really early, like halfway through the qualifying, Tim. So is that going to be denting confidence with Mr. Skycy?
I'm not so sure if it will be a dent in confidence, but I've noticed, at least myself, that once I, spin in a corner, I'm always really wary of that corner. So maybe you could chalk it up to a change in confidence, but I'm just really wary of that corner. And sometimes, because I'm so wary of it, I'm overthinking it, and I either overdrive the corner, or I'm just going too slow through the corner, and it just hurts my time. So maybe look out for that. Maybe somewhere in Sector 3, Mr. Skyzy isn't going to be the best that he could be, but things like that affect everybody differently.
Yeah, absolutely stuff here. But here's a question for you. Where we start off? Do you think Mr. Skycy will win his 4th title? Yes or no, Tim?
Yes. He was just way too consistent last season for me to say no. I've got to go with this safe bet here.
Oh, okay. I think I can't see Mr. Skycy winning a 4th title. I think someone's going to scrap that to stop that run. He's had 3 wins. He's had 3 titles. He's even had the record of having the least amount of wins in a performance league, the realistic performance league season. So I know Mr. Skycy would not be happy with me. What's that? Sorry.
How many races did he win last season?
He won about 3, I think. I believe that was 3.
That's what I was thinking.
So it was 3. I can't remember which tracks it was now, but hopefully we'll give you more information later on as we go through. But we're just waiting for the guys to get themselves prepped up and ready to go. If you say Mr. Skycy to win the title, who do you think's your dark horse? I know you said Stephen, but is there another dark horse that you think that could do well this season? No, it's hard to say with not all the drivers there, but if it was just these drivers here tonight, who do you think would do well this season?
Either Sheepy or TL44S.
Any reason?
Well, they both really seem to show decent pace in qualifying. I know TL44S, he was able to get to 3rd there. So already he's showing nice, strong pace. And of course, it could just be a one-off. He could just run really well at Circuit Paul Ricard. And obviously we're going to see that as time goes on. But right now we're starting our formation lap, and TL44S lining up there in the Racing Point machine. I really think that, if there is going to be a dark horse, that it could be him and also Sheepy, because they're right there. They're on the cusp. And honestly, the more I think about it, I have to throw Ferocious Dan as a candidate into that, just because his pole position was just such a surprise to me.
Yeah, absolutely immense stuff with Ferocious Dan, because he is the F3 world champion from last season, and he did show the last bits of the last season where he was battling out for at least the top 5 of the races where we had them as well. So it will be absolutely interesting stuff here to see if Ferocious Dan can step up a gear now and get the a realistic performance league title. I think he'll be a dark horse to win the title, I think, this season, Ferocious Dan, if he can try and keep it consistent as what he has been doing last season in the F3 league. Where he can do it in the performance league, depending on what cars he's had, it's a tough call, but I think he will do well with the the car itself for next season. Well, there's this season coming now. But TL4S as well, he's been a star as well. He's been doing really well when he can. I mean, he's had a few wins a few times last season, so he could be another dark horse as well. TL4S, it's just immense stuff. But we've had to kick off here, Tim. So I can't wait for it. And I'll tell you what, there's a former Realistic Performance League champion of Delange as well, so he'll be the one to watch as well. But Spud had a bad start last season, and he didn't get some points until like later on in the season. So if you want to win a title, you need to start off well, and if you don't, then you will capitalise on it. That many stuff here. But here we go, Tim. I'll let you do the honours.
All right, and I thank you, Malc. It has been far too long since I have been able to do this, and I am absolutely ready, and I am on the edge of my seat. You see all the drivers lined up, and you see the 5 red lights in the air. And now it is 0 red lights, it is green flag in the air for the French Grand Prix, for the pre-season, for the Invictus Racing League's Performance League. And right now, Ferocious Dan in the McLaren, he is out to a very early lead. TL4S in second with Mr. Sky Z, last season's champion, in third. The Red Bull of GB following closely behind in fourth. And the 5th place of the Williams of Ozone Typhoon is right there, right on the back bumper. And right on the back bumper of him is BioFreaks in the Ferrari. And now there is some contact. Contacted now the Mercedes of O Steven 002 has spun. He has saved it, but he's all the way down to the 10th position. Malc, did you get a better look at that?
Yes, he did. I did saw a bit of it. It looked like, from my point of view, it looked like he tried to go for the inside, but he was a little bit of a late break in there, so that could compromise his braking point. And unfortunately, he had a little bit of contact during that point of call there. So, but regarding the start there, Luke Bailey had a bit of a mare to start off with, because he did start off. What was it? He didn't even get off the grid there. So he was right at the back now into 9th place. Sab's got a 5-second penalty for corner cutting now. So that's just a little bit of an update there, Tim. So carry on from you, mate.
Well, already just a 5-second time penalty for Sab, as you said, and that's certainly not how he wanted to start off his season. Going back up to the front now, looking at Sheepy in the 4th position, chasing down those podium sitters. At the moment, Ferocious Dan still in charge of this thing, but only by half a second, more or less, in front of TL4S in the Racing Point machine, with Mr. Sky Z and the Mercedes breathing right down his neck. And Sheepy, of course, still sitting back there just waiting to pounce if these guys make a mistake. But more or less, all the drivers have now decided to follow in just a line, sort of a nose-to-tail position, because it's only lap 2. It's 27 laps in this race, and it is lap 2. We cannot be forcing the issue, pushing the envelope too much too early.
No, absolutely not, because like I said, all drivers are on the equal performance tonight, because as we keep saying, this is to help the admins decide what cars they're going to be at for next season. But we've got a 3-car battle here at the moment here, Tim, for Luke, Nitrogash and O'Stephen for 8th, 9th and 10th respectively here. But are you seeing any other battles going on along the way?
So far, I'm not seeing any battle right now. However, O'Stephen does seem to be getting slightly close to Nitro Gash for the 9th position. O'Stephen, of course, trying to recover from the spinny hat. And Nitro Gash is going to retain the 9th position for now, but not without having O'Stephen all in his rearview mirror.
Yeah, O'Stephen really wants to try and get past here, but he is on the soft tyre, so he will have to pit within the next 3 laps at this point, because the tyre wear is not great at the French Grand Prix. That's why you always have to either start on the mediums or the hards. So with this situation here, Stevens going for the inside. Oh, what a move! What a move there from Silky Smooth there from O'Stephen there. Brilliant, absolutely brilliant move there from O'Stephen. Tim.
Brilliant indeed, and now Sir O'Stephen is sitting his sights on Luke Bailey and Red Bull in the 8th position. O'Stephen really wanting to recover, and it's looking like he's showing more pace here in the race than he did in the qualifying session. And had he not had that spin, he might even be able to be in 5th right now. Speaking of 5th place, Ozone Typhoon is all up on the back bumper of Sheepy and Red Bull. For a minute, it was down to just a 10th of a second. Now it is half a second separating these two drivers, with Ozone Typhoon trying very desperately to get close to Sheepy and maybe get by him, but not trying to pull any Hail Mary moves just yet. He understands that it's very early, but when DRS is activated, he will be able to use it. He is definitely close enough. In fact, DRS has been activated. This lap, I heard the beep, and Ozone Typhoon is using it to his advantage, and he's going to try to get on the inside of Sheepy, and will he make the move? No, he does not. He does not clear him, not this time.
No, he's still going there, Ozone. He's still going there. He's trying his hardest here to try and get past Sheepy now with the fast right-hander here. Needs to go around the outside! And he makes the move! He makes the move there! Brilliant stuff there from Ozone Typhoon! Dim.
And I have to commend Sheepy there. I have to commend him. He saw that it was turning into a tricky situation, and I think that he just backed out and let Ozone Typhoon go, not wanting to, take too many risks too early, because that could have very easily been a difficult situation. There was plenty of room that both drivers gave, but nonetheless, it could have turned very violent very quickly if drivers hadn't used their heads.
Yeah, there needs to be absolutely immense stuff here. You have to be like really on top on the F1 car, because if you don't, you will lose out so much ability here, because you need to have that. It's like chess. You have to play the moves really well here. If you don't, then you will lose out big time here. So I'm watching it from Sheepy's point of view here, still trying to close in on Ozone Typhoon, but BioFreak SA is still closing in on Sheepy now for 5th place here. So at the moment here, we've got TL44S in first place. Frosh Stan is in second place. Mr. Skyzy, the Drivers' Championship winner from last season, in third place. Ozone Typhoon in fourth place. Sheepy in fifth, which I am watching currently now. Sab's got the fast lap of the race with 135.4. BioFreak SA is in sixth place. Sir Spud is in seventh. Luke Bailey is in eighth. O'Stevens in ninth. Delange is in 10th. Nigel Gash is in 11th. Sab is in 12th place. Tim.
Very unfortunate for Sab, though. I mean, because it looked... Well, it really didn't look like anything. He wasn't able to set a time in qualifying, but nonetheless, you would think that, that he would want his season to get off to a better start, and just unfortunately, it has not yet.
Yeah, it's a shame for Sab, because he tried everything he can to get off to a pre-season start off well. But bear in mind, though, he did struggle the first half of the season, and he bounced himself right back into the second half of the season. So I wouldn't write off Sab for to be in the top half at least this season. That's my prediction anyway for this season. So just watching Sheepy now, trying to close in on Ozone at the moment. We might have to go to Mr. Sky C. So Delange has passed O'Steven now for 9th, 10th. So I'm just going to go watch Mr. Sky C, because there's a 3-car battle here for the lead here. So this is going to be an absolutely immense stuff here, Tim.
Yes, the podium runners right now running nose to tail, just trying to stay near each other. And now Little Ferocious Dan was maybe going to try to go on the inside. And now he goes to the outside of TL44S using the DRS. Ferocious Dan has cleared TL44S. TL44S trying to make a move on the inside, which turned into the outside, but not able to do it. He just barely stuck his nose in there.
Yeah, I just saw Mr. Sky. He had a quick glance there, but look at TL44S. He's going around the inside. What a move! What a move there from TL44S. Brilliant, absolutely brilliant there from TL44S. Absolutely brilliant there. Dim.
This is an absolute banger battle for the lead here. TL44S, Ferocious Dan, and Mr. Sky's the last season's champion, and now he is trying to maybe make a move on Ferocious Dan. He thought about it for a minute, but he has thought better of it. Ferocious Dan pulling away a little bit from Mr. Sky Z, but all three drivers keeping each other in their sights. Now rounding the final corner to go down the front straightaway. They are going to complete lap 5. This will be lap 6 now of 27, but TL44S in command of this race, followed by the McLaren of Ferocious Dan and Mercedes of Mr. Sky Z, and it is Ferocious Dan and TL44S as we see a lockup from the Racing Point that are really putting on the show here today. Mr. Sky Z, he is sitting back there and he is waiting to pounce for any mistake that these drivers make, but the ones that are really putting on the show are TL44S and Ferocious Dan, just constantly swapping positions back and forth, just really getting on the back of each other's bumpers and using the DRS to their advantage at every possible moment. Very very great racing here.
Yeah, absolutely immense stuff there. Sheepy's got a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings now. He was closer to Oso earlier on, but now Ferocious Dan might have the inside. Oh, he makes that move! He makes the move there. Brilliant! Absolutely brilliant there from Ferocious Dan. TL Wolveres drops down to second place, Tim. 3-car battle here for like 5/10. Oh, TL Wolveres going for the inside. Oh, two in a bed. Oh, what a move again. A war team move. Brilliant. Mr. Scorsese going for the inside. Oh, what
and Mr. Scorsese moves up into the second position with Ferocious Dan now dropping back into third. Ferocious Dan, that one corner right there where TL Wolveres got by him 2 times in a row now. He just does not have the speed that TL Wolveres can carry into that corner.
Yeah, I think Frostown just caught off guard there from Mr. Scorsese with the driving ability on the other side of the car there, and it's just absolutely immense stuff there. But Mr. Scorsese should have the advantage here with the hard tyres to try closing on TL4 RS. So Stephen did pit at lap 6/7 of the Invictus Realistic Performance League tonight. Absolutely immense stuff at this moment in time here, but we're coming up to lap 7/27 of the Invictus Racing League, the Realistic Performance League. This is absolutely immense stuff here, absolutely immense. Tim,
this is definitely wild. I'm watching Mr. Sky Z and just watching how and when he closes that gap. TL4 Press actually increased it a little bit, but Mr. Sky Z is going to have the DRS here, and he's using the slipstream and DRS both, and now he is going on the inside of TL4 Press. Look for him to clear him, and yes, he does going into this chicane. But TL4 Press is right on the bumper of Mr. Sky Z, and look for him to maybe make a pass going to this next corner like he has on Ferocious Dan. I don't think he's close enough now, though. He's going to try, though. He's using the slipstream to get close, but could not get close enough.
Oh.
Not going to be able to make a move this time, but Mr. Sky Z goes just a little bit wide. TL4 Press now trying to get on the inside. Will he be able to make it? They are now side by side and wheel to wheel. And now Mr. Sky Z has the momentum on the outside of the corner. He was able to just motor by. Mr. Sky Z has cleared the Racing Point machine for the moment, and Mr. Sky Z is in command of this race.
Yeah, he's the Drivers' Championship winner from the last 3 seasons. Is in pole position now in first place now, so that's still a brilliant drive there from him. He is on the hard tyres.
A huge lockup from TL4S there going into the final corner. Did you see that?
Yes, I did. Sorry, Tim. We did see TL4S lock his brakes there, so he's still going to try closing on Mr. Scorsese, but with the tyre wear going a little bit downhill here, this will be absolutely immense stuff here. We're just watching, still watching this battle there for the top 3 at the moment here, but we might have another battle going on between Suspud and Luke Bailey in the next lap or 2. Under a second there from 7th and 8th respectively here, but still watching TL4S. He needs to do something here because otherwise Mr. Scorsese is going to pull away here from the hard tyres. It's hard for Mr. Scorsese to. Do you think this will be the most challenging season that he's ever had in the last out of the last 3 seasons that he's been at Invictus Realistic Performance Team?
Honestly, it might be one of the easiest.
Really?
Well, maybe not the easiest, but maybe slightly easier because, you know, you've got some really talented drivers here in this field. You know, you got TL4S, who's been running wheel to wheel with Mr. Sky Z, Ferocious Dan, who was the pole sitter and is now sitting in 3rd, just waiting to pounce, you know. And then you got, Sheepy, down there, who's really been making some moves. And, Ozone Typhoon, who's just kind of been moving up forward today. So we've got a lot of talent in this field. But there is one driver that we don't have, and that's Scope Builder. He was Mr. Sky's teammate last season in the Performance League. In Scope Builder, he was able to win the F1 championship. He is just not racing with us this season, so there's one less challenger that was always close to Mr. Sky Z that he doesn't have to deal with now.
Yeah, he's still trying everything he can here to try and do everything he can here, Mr. Scorsese, because Schofield did a brilliant job as a teammate for Mr. Scorsese last season to win the Constructors, so this will be immense stuff here. They did really well last season, wherever happens at that moment in time, but still it's going to be tough this season. I think we might see a few shocks along the way, I think, this season. Tim.
And we very much might, and just looking down the field, there are a couple names that, I don't even recognize. Biofreak, I don't think I've been able to commentate a race yet that he has been in. So, I have yet to see what he can do. So it's really just going to be a very interesting season. And I feel like this race here, where it's starting to get strung out, may or may not be the best baseline as far as what we're going to see for the rest of the season. But that's why we have 2 preseason races instead of just the 1.
Yeah, it's still, because it's like you have an easy track and also you have the most complex track of the season here for the pre-seasons, because it's going to be immense stuff. Whatever happens, it's going to be immense stuff, and we are seeing some classic races here tonight. We've got Frostan trying to close in on TL44S, and also I'm going to go to Luke Bailey and Sir Spud now for 7th and 8th respectively here. So still watching. So Sheepy's going to the pits now from 8 laps of the medium tyres. So
yep. Watching that Red Bull pull away now. We'll see where he rejoins this race. Right now he's in the 9th position. Looks like he might be able to hang on to it. The Nitro Gas in the 10th position, coming very fast, just 10 seconds behind. It looks like, yes, Sheepy's going to rejoin in the 10th position. So he is the first driver to pit in this round of pit stops. So look for the others to be pitting soon. You can actually take a look at here and see who has fitted what tire at the moment, with Sheepy going for the hard tire. So obviously that's going to last him to the end of the race, barring any major catastrophes. Mr. Sky Z, who has the hard tires, I'd say he's probably going to wait and pit maybe 10 laps from now.
Yeah, absolutely.
Give or take.
10 laps. See how it goes here with the medium tyres here. But looking at this battle here between Luke Bailey and Sir Spud here, this is absolutely immense stuff here. So Sir Spud's dropped down to 7th place. Luke Bailey moves up to 6th place here. So that's the only. So Luke Bailey, Sir Spud's trying to go for the inside there, but he won't make the move there. So Luke Bailey holds on to 6th place. Ferocious Dan closing in on TL4 for 2nd place here. So just watching the 2 battles.
And now Sheepy is making a move on Nitro Gas. He went on the inside of him and cleared him very easily. Those fresh tires definitely bringing an advantage to that Red Bull. Sheepy now moves into the 9th position. Luke Bailey and Biofreaks, meanwhile, Luke Bailey going into the pits, which puts Biofreaks up to 5th. Sir Spud moving up into the 6th now. Luke Bailey, he's going to hit likely for the hard tires, almost definitely, and yes, he does. He's now pulling away right now in 7th, but he will probably have to rejoin in about 10th.
Yeah, so he might come back into 10th place here. And the way it's going from the pit exits here, but you've got to be careful there because of drivers coming out and also from the drivers going for the straight line speed there. So Ferocious Dan in 3rd place here, try to close in on TL44S in second for 3rd place here. He's closing in on 2nd place here. So still mounting stuff here. Oh, Ferocious Dan! Oh, 2 in a bed. We got a 2 in a bed here, Tim. Oh, Ferocious Dan moves on to 2nd, but TL4S has lost that position there, and he drops down to 3rd now.
And Ferocious Dan was able to clear TL44S with relative ease there. Both drivers on medium tires, both the same age, but I do believe that TL44S, where he was battling a lot with Ferocious Dan and Mr. Sky Z afterwards, I think that he's used up his tires, where Ferocious Dan just kind of hung out behind him and probably almost definitely conserved his tires at least a little bit. But now Ferocious Dan we see going into the pits right after he makes that move, so all that conservation may have been for naught. But it doesn't matter because fresh tires are definitely going to be a lot better.
Yeah, they'll be a lot more better here. So the majority of the drivers are going in for the 10 laps here.
That puts Ozone Typhoon in the 2nd position, meanwhile, with TL4S now pulling into the pits as well. Sir Spud moves into 3rd. Ferocious Dan going to come out in the 4th position, it looks like, right in front of TL4S. TL4S right on his bumper as they exit the pits, and let's see if he will be able to stay there. They are both running 4th and 5th at the moment, with Biofreaks in the pits just behind them. Ferocious Dan comes out in 4th with TL4S in 5th.
Yeah, so TL4S in 5th place here, just behind Ferocious Dan. So we're just still, actually, Luke Bailey's going to close in on Nigel Gash here for 8th place here. So just there's two battles going on. Well, three battles going on, Tim. We've got Frostan, TL4 We've got Sheepy, Biofreak, SA. And Luke Bailey makes the move in against Nitro Gash there for 8th place there. For 8th and 9th respectively. That was the other battle there, Tim.
Yes, it was, and he seemed to have cleared him relatively easily. I only switched over to it at the very end, but now he is really pulling away with Nitro Gash on those old hard tires. Just cannot keep the pace.
Yeah, just still immense stuff here from Luke Bailey there, trying to pull away there from Nitro Gash there. But we got. I'm going to go back to TL4 and Ferocious Dan because they're the closest battles at the moment here. We've got Sheepy Biofreak SA still, but looking at this battle here, there's still immense battle here. But Ozone Typhoon he's going to the pits now from 2nd place here. So will Spud try and follow that lead, follow Ozone? Yes, he will. So Spud's got a 5-second penalty for speeding the pit lane though. So immense stuff here. We're on lap 13.27 of the Invictus Realistic Performance League at the glorious race of the French Grand Prix here. But Mr. Skycy will have the benefit of the doubt with the quicker tyre, which is well, I say quicker tyre, it's like the average tyre wear of the medium tyres at the end of the race. So TL4 first tried closing on Ferocious down for 2nd place again. Biofreak tried closing on Sheepy now for 5th and 6th place. TL4 first has got it's got a someone's had a penalty, sorry, I just lost it there. So, TL4 first chance now. Here we go, makes the move here, and he makes the move here, Tim. What do you think of that so far?
Oh, I think that he made it look easy, but I'd say it was everything but easy as TL4S has cleared Ferocious Dan. Now Ferocious Dan going to try to battle back, but TL4S is pulling away, and I don't think there's really going to be much of a fight that Ferocious Dan can give.
So just watching, it's still a great battle here. Whatever happens here tonight, it's a brilliant pre-season race. It's just an absolutely brilliant pre-season race. But we got with the drivers' championship leader of championship winner, sorry, from last season of Mr. Skycy holding on in 1st. TL4S in 2nd place. Ferocious Dan is in 3rd. And then Ozone Typhoon in 4th, Sheepy in 5th, Biofreak in 6th, Luke Bailey is in 7th, so Spud is in 8th, Nitro Gash is in 9th, O'Stephen is in 10th, Sab is in 11th, and Delange, the former Realistic Performance champion, in 12th place. TL4 Fresh has got the fast lap of the race with a 134.8. Tim.
One thing I want to point out here is Mr. SkyZ running in 1st. He has a 25-second lead over TL4S. He started on the hard tires instead of the mediums where other drivers started on the mediums. So Mr. SkyZ undoubtedly will pit for the medium tires whenever he decides to make his pit stop. But he essentially has a free pit stop at the moment. But he's going to have to take advantage of that soon because it looks like TL4S is actually eating away at that gap. So I'd say look for him to pit with this lap or the next time at the very least in order to conserve that gap as much as possible and still have a free pit stop. However, Ferocious Dan putting some pressure on TL4S now as they go into the chicane. That is actually going to help Mr. SkyZ. That might actually slow down these drivers just a little bit to give him that little bit of an extra cushion.
Yeah, still madness stuff here at this moment in time there. But like I said, Ferocious Dan try closing on TL4S in 2nd and 3rd place here. O'Stephen moves up to 9th place here. Nitro Gash is in 10th place at the moment here. So still watching this great battle here. I don't know which one to pick. I might go to Biofreak SA and Sheepy for 5th and 6th place at the moment here. So still watching this battle. Oh, Biofreak has made a little bit of a mistake there on the hard tyres there. But he's still going there. He's still absolutely going there, whatever happens here tonight. Just immense stuff here. We're on lap 15.27 of this frantic race here. Can we see any more shocks along the way here? We'll have to find out. But at the moment here, this TL4 Ferocious Dan battle has been an absolutely immense stuff here, which has brought Mr. SkyC to pull away from this battle here. So this will be immense stuff here.
This has been such an entertaining battle. I really hope that the admins take note of this, and I really want to see these drivers in you know, in very close cars performance-wise throughout the whole season, because if they're going to give us battles like this, then there will never be a dull moment in this series. As now Ferocious Dan has went by TL4S yet again to take that second position. He used the DRS and he did it right from underneath my nose. Just completely snuck by there and made it look so easy. It looked like TL4S was a sitting duck, but now I think Ferocious Dan is going to be a victim of that same issue, with TL4S now fighting back hard to get by the McLaren.
Yeah, absolutely immense stuff. Those two drivers are all going through to our driver of the day competition here for the race here tonight. So it's just an absolutely brilliant stuff here tonight at the glorious race of the French Grand Prix. We're on lap 16:27. Can we see any battles along the way here? We've got Biofreak and Sheepy, as well as TL4S and Ferocious Dan. Again, I know we keep repeating because that's the only two battles we've got so far in this race. Like I said, Mr. Scorsese has to pit whatever happens here, but he will probably get a free pit stop here if these two are still going out with the ding-dong battle here. Tim.
Just scrolling down through the list, just trying to find a battle, looking at the times, and it looks like, you know, as you said, Biofreaks and Sheepy right now are having a bit of a battle here, and otherwise probably the closest one is going to be Sab in the lanes right now, except Sab has decided to go into the pit, so there's really no battle there. Biofreaks, meanwhile, trying to get really close to Sheepy. He goes just a little bit wide in 3 right there. Sheepy, that's going to allow him to get out in front, but Biofreaks is still within DRS range, so look for him to use the DRS to his advantage to get by the Red Bull, and he is going by him right now. They are side by side, wheel to wheel. Will Biofreaks be able to pass him? Yes, he does, but he goes a little bit wide in the chicane. That's going to allow Sheepy to stay right there with him. Now, going down another long straightaway, but no DRS this time, as Sheepy is using the slipstream. He's now trying to pull out to pass him on the inside, but cannot make it stick. He was going to try to do the same move that TL4S did on Ferocious Dan, but was not able to do it, and it looked like Sheepy got a little bit loose there.
Yeah, he had loose cannon there from the back of his car there. He nearly lost the back end there during that epic battle there between himself and Biofreak SA for 5th place here. But that is still a brilliant battle here. Just going to still watch this battle here to see if there's any development going on at this moment in time. So just coming up to the final corner now. We're on lap 17:27 of the Invictus Realistic Performance League at the French Grand Prix here. Absolutely immense stuff here, Tim.
It is indeed, and I am enjoying every single second of it. Mr. Sky Z, of course, still out to a very strong lead, a 26-second lead now, because the battle between Ferocious Dan and TL4S has actually allowed him to pull away even more. So Ferocious Dan in second with TL4S in third, and the Racing Point machine looks like he's going to try to make a move. They're heading into the chicane now, and I'm pretty sure he has the DRS, and he's going underneath him yet again. They are side-by-side, wheel to wheel, going into the chicane, and TL4S has cleared Ferocious Dan. I think that this is just the norm. It didn't even look like Ferocious Dan put up any bit of a fight that time, because he knows he's going to have another chance at him going into this next corner, but it looks like TL4S has gotten up to such a gap at the moment that Ferocious Dan is not anywhere close to even think about making a move.
Yeah, we're still watching this. It's like 5-10 battle here between TL4S and Ferocious Dan. Again, I still think these two are having the ding-dong battle here. To see what's going to happen here so far in this battle here from lap 18 of this epic battle here. Still watching Ferocious Dan. It's 7/10 now, so whatever happens here, Mr. Scorsese will have a free pit stop. But yeah, he's doing an immense job here tonight. And looking at the gaps here, this is the only battle we've got so far. Tim.
Yeah, and that it is. However, it looks like Sheepy is maybe starting to close in on Biofreaks, but just as I say that, Biofreaks puts a lot of ground on him that time. So Ozone Typhoon running in the 4th position now. He is 3.3 seconds behind Battle of TL4S and Ferocious Dan, with Mr. Sky Z still out front, 26.2 second gap. That is 17 laps on those hard tires. He's going to have to pit very, very soon. I just don't know when, but we also don't know what his tires are doing right now. It is lap 18 of 27. We have 10 laps to go here, so Mr. Sky Z does not have a lot of time to pit, but plenty of time nonetheless, as now Sab has set the fastest time with a 1:34.141.
Yeah. But yeah, just absolutely immense stuff here from this battle. Oh, I absolutely love the French Grand Prix. Absolutely love this. But yeah, just seeing how this is going to happen here, whatever happens here from Ferocious Dan's point of view here. But I just can't see any other battles going on. I'll now have to go through some of the drivers here to see what they're doing so far. But yeah, just see what happens here tonight. We're on lap 19:27. 8 laps remaining of the Invictus Realistic Performance League at the French Grand Prix. Oof, I don't know where. I might have to go to Sheepy now because he's closing on Biofreak now. Tim.
Well, I'm still watching TL4S and Ferocious Dan at the moment. Mr. Sky Z, 18 laps now on those hard tires. He's still out front. Ozone Typhoon, no change there. Still in the 4th position. Going back to watch what you're watching now, Malc with Sheepy 83 and Biofreak. And Sheepy is starting to close in. He's within the DRS range now. So if he can stay there for like 3 more corners, he will have the DRS.
Yeah, just seeing madness stuff here at this moment in time here. But Biofreak's going out wide there. But just seeing where Sheepy can try and bounce back here, but at the moment he's still struggling to try and catch up to Biofreak at the moment here. But Ferocious Dan, again, TL4S, still looking at that battle there. Just still immense stuff.
Yeah, it just doesn't seem like Sheepy has quite the same pace that he needs to. He's running in the 6th position now, but I think that might be all he's got. However, he is still closing in on Biofreak, so it just didn't look like the DRS did much for him, but now he is all on the back bumper of him.
Yeah, it's right at the back of bumper now of Biofreak now. This is going to be an absolutely brilliant, immense battle here. Just watching Biofreak try and defend it against Sheepy now. So Sheepy's thinking, what do I need to do to get past Biofreak now for 5th place? But can I remind everyone, if you're watching the streams, there will be no podium interviews at the end of this race because this is the pre-season races. So there will be no podium interviews. We will stop the stream straight after the race with our quick update and then stop the stream after. So we're on lap 20:27. Sheep is trying to close in on Biofreak, but Luke Bailey, the other Red Bull car, is trying to close in on this battle here. Well, he was closer to that battle, but again, it's like between Sheepy, Biofreak and Ferocious Dan TL44S. It's immense stuff here, Tim.
And that it is, Malc. And with Biofreak, he now knows Sheepy is breathing down his neck. He's starting to step it up a bit, and he goes wide yet again. Sir Spud, meanwhile, 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings, and that is definitely not the way that he's wanted to start out his season. Sir Spud running in the 8th position right now. He's got 7 laps on those hard tires, so he'll probably be taking those to the end. Mr. Sky Z, meanwhile, has 19 laps on his hard tires, and he is still out front and still not pitted. The gap is a 25.3 second, and now Mr. Sky Z has decided to go into the pits. Mr. Sky Z, your leader, now in the pits. He has what is essentially a free pit stop with that 25-second gap, so we'll see what happens here as he pulls in, and he is fitting the softs. He is actually fitting the soft tires, and that's probably the best way to go considering we only have 7 laps remaining at this point. But Mr. Sky Z has fitted the soft tires, and he is now away from his pit, and we'll see what happens there as he rejoins this race shortly. But Ferocious Dan and TL4S, meanwhile, are still fighting very hard to get by him.
Yeah, just still. Sheep is trying his hardest to try and get past Biofreak now for 5th place, but fair play to Mr. Sky Z, who's just come out by 2 seconds with the gap there between himself and Ferocious Dan. So that's still a brilliant job there from Mr. Sky Z, putting his marker on a stamp on the start of the pre-season races here. Sheepy trying to close in again on Biofreak for 5th place again, and then TL4S and Ferocious Dan. Still another battle there. I know we keep on about it, but it is, like I said, this is the only battles we've got so far. And look at it, Luke Bailey, this beautiful helicopter view that I'm watching now. This is absolutely immense stuff here. So Luke Bailey is slowly trying to catch up between these two drivers of Biofreak SA and Sheepy for 5th and 6th place. Tim.
Watching Luke Bailey now, but it does look like Sheepy and BioFreak are about to have a big ding-dong battle going through the chicane now. Will Sheepy be able to pass him going into the next corner? We're about to find out as Sheepy gets a little bit of better exit.
Oh!
The BioFreak is actually starting to pull away, and now there is the yellow flag in Sector 2. What's happened, Matt?
Luke Bailey has hit the bumper. It looked like he hit the curb there, but he had a massive bump on one of the curbs there, and he's lost a bit of his front wing there. So that will compromise. He was doing well to try and catch up to Sheepy and BioFreak now, but now Spoiled is capitalising it, and now Sheepy's right at the back of BioFreak now. Man, just absolutely immense stuff here.
Luke Bailey suffering an enormous amount of understeer right now. Did you see how wide he went going into that corner there, and how wide he is still? Barely missing the DHL banners that time around. He's undoubtedly going to have to hit.
Yeah, he still needs to do everything he can here, but I still can't believe this has been an immense battle here. Absolutely immense stuff here. But you just don't know what to say anymore. So Luke Bailey will have to go into the pits now. Oh, he has retired from the session. He's the first DNF of the race here tonight. So Sheepy will try everything he can on 6th place here to try and close in BioFreak. TL4 has gone past Ferocious Dan for second place now, but Ferocious Dan will bounce back here with a second DRS straight now. Needs to do something there. He needs to do something there, Ferocious Dan.
Ferocious Dan trying to use the slipstream to get to TL4 and maybe try to get underneath him, but he's not close enough yet. He maybe thought about it that time, but decided against it. However, there was really not a lot of room to go for it anyway. TL4 still in command of this battle, but in command of the race is Mr. Sky Z, who is out to a 6-second lead now after pitting for soft tires in just 2 laps. More or less, he has increased the gap a whole 4.5 seconds, give or take. Rounding the final corner now, TL4 and Ferocious Dan to complete lap 23.
It's just madness stuff here between TL4 and Ferocious Dan at this moment in time.
Ferocious Dan looks like he got some DRS and was maybe going to try to get by TL4 but was not able to do it. TL4 has more pace than Ferocious Dan. Ferocious Dan is going to have to rely heavily on DRS zones to get by TL4.
Yeah, so he has to do everything he can for Ferocious to get back into this. He needs to do something there if he wants to capitalise on his stamp marker on tonight's pre-season race. Obviously, pre-season races don't get points tonight, but I'd rather have the mistakes done and dusted at the pre-season races before the actual league races, because that will compromise so much in moments in time. So Ferocious slowly trying to close in on TL4 so that another chance now. But TL4 looks like he's pulling away there from Ferocious. He looked like TL4 was trying to save ERS, I'm guessing anyway. But he's pulling away a little bit here. But looks like Ferocious had more cornering speed. Do you agree, Tim?
Maybe just a little bit, Mal. TL4 he has a better exit than Ferocious Dan, but Ferocious Dan, around entry, maybe center of the corner, does seem to have just a little bit more speed. It's just that exit that really helps keep TL4 out in front of Ferocious Dan.
Yeah, it's just absolutely immense stuff here from Ferocious Dan. Trying to close in on TL4 for second place here. He's trying everything he can, but Sheepy could be closing on BioFreak now. He's going to try and go around the outside here. He nearly tried to go around the outside on BioFreak, but BioFreak's trying to defend here. Left, right, centre here, but these two having a ding-dong battle there, but he's lost a little bit of time there, Sheepy there. So, going back to Ferocious Dan and TL4 for second and third place with about 3 or 4 laps remaining of the French Grand Prix for the pre-season race 1 of the Invictus Realistic Performance League. And I tell you what, it has not been in. I'll tell you what, I couldn't say the words there, but Ferocious Dan makes the move there into second place. He makes the move there into second place. TL4 drops down to third there. So absolutely immense stuff there from Ferocious Dan, but he's still going now.
TL4 now trying to battle back hard, but I don't think he's going to be able to do it this time. Ferocious Dan just is able to pull away. and he is actually putting just a little bit of ground on that Racing Point machine, but much better entry from TL4S than Ferocious Dan that time around. Ferocious Dan, though, getting maybe a slightly better exit, but TL4S definitely right on his heels. Going through these S's now. They are about to round the final corner here in just 2 corners time. This will be to start lap 24, or excuse me, to complete lap 24, as Mr. Skyzy has already crossed the line. It is 25 of 27 laps now. Ferocious Dan in second, TL4S in third. Everybody chasing Mr. Skyzy 10 seconds ahead of second place.
Oh, he's done an immense job there, Mr. Skyzy. Absolutely brilliant job.
A big lockup from TL4S going into one, and he was able to hang on to it. He kept it in between the lines, but a huge lockup from that left front.
Yeah, TL4S needs to try and bounce back here as quickly as possible. He wants to try and get that moment here into the second place here. But Sheepy closing in on Biofreak again. This is kind of like the Fresh Stand TL4S / Biofreak Sheepy show. At the way we're watching it with the battles going on that close at the moment here. But Fresh Stand drops to third. He drops down to third there. So TL4S moves up to second place now. So brilliant stuff there from the 2 drivers there. For the top 2, from the second and third place there. Tim.
TL4S and Ferocious Dan battling it out very, very hard here. This has been an absolutely amazing battle to watch. It's been very fun.
Yeah, it's just absolutely...
Mr. Skyzy, meanwhile, 11 seconds ahead.
Yeah, it's just... Mr. Skyzy is just pulling away left, right and centre here into that moment there. He's doing a brilliant job. Again, Sheepy closing in on Biofreak now for 5th place. He's trying to go around the outside there. He nearly lost that moment there on one corner there. But Biofreak's trying to defend here with all his might here. But bear in mind that there will be penalties at the end of this race for some of the drivers who've had it earlier on in the race. I haven't seen much penalties since probably about lap 5, 7, Tim?
Hold on a minute, and I'll actually be able to get that information for you.
We'll just get
the last penalty that I am seeing
is Stephen just with 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings. Well,
and before that was Nitro Gash exceeding the track limits. And now okay. Sheepy going on the inside of Biofreaks. Will he be able to make it stick now on the outside? And he has momentum. Sheepy now moves up into the 5th position over Biofreaks in the Ferrari.
Yeah, he's done a brilliant job there, Sheepy. He's absolutely done a brilliant job there. But TL4S drops down again. So Fresh Stand moves up to second place now. Right. Every time we watch a battle, we miss those 2 having a ding-dong battle. So we're going to stick with these on the penultimate lap. But what do you think so far in this race, Tim?
I think it's been an amazing battle between Ferocious Dan and TL4S, and Sheepy and Biofreaks has definitely gave us a good show as well. And hats off to Mr. Sky Z for putting on a stellar race, and he still has 1 more lap to go before we can call him the winner. But barring any catastrophe, that's what will happen as he now rounds the final corner to take the white flag. It is in the air now as he crosses the line. Mr. Sky Z, 1 lap to go, and then we can call him a winner in this preseason.
Yeah, absolutely immense stuff here from Mr. Skyzy again, but still TL4S trying to close in on Ferocious Dan, so we're going to keep watching this battle here, but then also Sheepy Biofreak in the battles there as we speak. But so far Mr. Skyzy in first, Ferocious Dan second, TL4S in third. Mr. Skyzy's got a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings. I don't think that will affect anything like that, so he will be safe and sound in first place. TL4S in third, got Ozone Typhoon in fourth. Sheepy Ozone did it on his debut race as well. That's still a brilliant job from him, from Ozone Typhoon. Sheepy in 5th, Biofreak in 6th. So Spud is in 7th, Delange in 8th, Stephen in 9th, Sab is in 10th, Nitro Gash is in 11th place, and Luke Bailey is the only one who's had a DNF.
TL4S now making a move on Ferocious Dan. He's going on the outside of the chicane, and Ferocious Dan, he just sailed it in there hard, and he is keeping the position for it now. Meanwhile, Ferocious Dan still up from the TL4S. He's going to try to get by him. He's going to use the slipstream. He is right on the back of it, and he is going to get tried. He's going to the Fanatic Banner right now. And TL4S not able to make a move this time, but Ferocious he goes wide. Ferocious goes wide, that allows TL4S to get underneath the McLaren. The Racing Point McLaren side by side, wheel to wheel. Last lap for second place. TL4S has gotten by Ferocious in 4 now, but will he be able to hold it? Will he be able to hold it going through the S's right now? Ferocious Dan looks like he's falling back just a little bit. That might be all TL4S needs for this second position, as Mr. Sky Z has now officially crossed the line. Mr. Sky Z is your winner, but the battle to the line is going to be TL4S and Ferocious Dan, but TL4S will come out on top for the second position, only physically though, because Ferocious Dan is now up there due to time penalties.
Due to time penalties as well. But look at Biofreak and Sheepy on FIFA in 6th place here. Biofreak needs to make the move in on the inside. Could he be making a move there? Oh, but Sheepy will hold on there for 5th. He might just hold on there for 5th. Oh, but Biofreak has finished ahead of Sheepy based on penalties there. But Sir Spud will finish in 7th place. Delange would finish in 8th place. Sir Spud has a 5-second time penalty unserved as well. Delange would finish on his return back. He moves up to 7th place now, so Spud drops down to 8th at that moment in time. We got O'Stephen trying to passing the last corner there, so he's coming up to the final line now, and he finishes in 9th. But Sab will finish in 10th place, and Nigel Gash will be the one left in 11th place. Absolutely immense stuff there, Tim.
That was an amazing battle, and I hope that every race this season is going to be like that. If we don't have a battle like that for the win, give us a battle like that for second. Give us a battle like that for third. That was just amazing from TL4S and Ferocious Dan and Mr. Sky Z. A really good strategy right there to put him out on top. So this does not officially count statistically as a win. This is an exhibition race win for him, but a win is a win. Try telling him it doesn't count.
Yeah, absolutely stuff there. But fair play to Mr. Sky C finishing first, and then you got Ferocious Dan finishing second, and then TL4S in third. So, here we go. So, here are your race classification for the French Grand Prix for the pre-season race 1 of the Invictus Realistic Performance League. Mr. Sky C, the Drivers' Championship winner of the last 3 seasons, in first place. Great start from him. Ferocious Dan in second place. TL4S in third. Great debut race for Ozone Typhoon in fourth place. You got Biofreak in 5th, Sheepy in 6th, Delange in 7th, Sir Spud in 8th, O'Stephen in 9th, Sab in 10th, Nigel Gash 11th, and Luke Bailey's the only one finishing in 12th place. And we're just going to do a quick roundup, and then we're going to stop the stream. So, Tim, what's your best moments of the race tonight?
Well, best moments of the race have definitely got to be just, well, starting out the 3-car battle between Mr. Sky Z, Ferocious Dan, and TL4S, but then the battle between TL4S and Ferocious Dan carried on throughout most of the race. So I don't know if I say the 3-car battle that turned into the 2-car battle, or if I just go with the 2-car battle, because they both had me on the edge of my seat, and quite frankly, I want to see more of it.
Yeah, well, we hope to see more of that in the actual Performance League, the Realistic Performance League, later on in the next 2 weeks when we start off our first ever race there. So, as you said, Tim, this has been an absolutely brilliant start of the Invictus Realistic Performance League, and I'll tell you what, I can't wait for next week's race, and I can't wait for what's going to happen in the forthcoming season. And it's just absolutely immense stuff here. But can I just say thank you, Tim, for your legendary commentary. It's been an absolute blast as always. I'd like to thank everyone that was watching the stream. Please make sure you like and subscribe to the Invictus Racing League channel for all the live races, so make sure you tune in on the YouTube channel. Not only that, we also have so yeah, just seeing what's going to happen here on the next week's, but also check up on the social media side stuff of Facebook, Instagram as well. So make sure you like and subscribe, and also Twitter as well for all the live tweets as well. So make sure you stay up to date with Invictus Racing Leagues. We've had Tim doing the commentary box. I'd like to thank him again. I was your host with the most, Malc, This was the Invictus Racing Leagues. This was the Realistic Performance League at the Glorious Race of France. I'll see you all next week. We both see you all next week at the glorious race for the pre-season race 2. Ta-ra, big guys. See you later. Bye-bye.